Hello, everybody. Frank Kenny here. Thought I'd just do a quick little live here to answer some questions we've been getting on the brand new program that we've rolled out today for the Chamber of Commerce industry. And we're calling it Chamber Pros H2H, which is Chamber Pros Human to Human. And the idea is relationships are built one on one. They're not built through Zoom happy hours or the 6 or 8 or 10 people on a screen. I mean, that's all well and good. That's socializing, but if you really want to build relationships, it happens on a one-on-one basis. Just like you go to a conference and you're in a room full of people, you're not building a relationship at that time. You might be learning from somebody on the stage, but you're not really relationship building. That happens out in the corridors. And it generally doesn't happen in big crowds of people. It happens when you talk to somebody face to face. And so we found a platform that will allow chamber people to talk with other chamber people face to face. Now, it also includes a training element. So there's going to be that. You will learn things. You will discover insights. You will get tips on what's working for today from chambers. But the revolutionary part of this is after that little session where you're meeting or where you're learning something, then you will meet somebody face to face for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. You can set it however much you want. In H2H, we're probably going to do 5-minute sessions. And so it gives you a time enough to meet another chamber professional face to face, get to say hello, share where you're at, share how long you've been in the industry. And then you can ask a question. Maybe something's been on your mind and you're going to be talking to you're talking to a veteran, or perhaps you're new and you have a question for somebody that's on the other side, on your face to face, and you'll talk to some veterans, or maybe you'll talk to somebody else that's new that would have a different perspective that's new in the industry. And you'll go through 5 or 6. I think we got it set for 6 sessions of face to face, 5 minutes each. So it's not a real long time. And then it will go back to the training little thing for a wrap up. And then every week we'll do the same thing. And you will find that you're starting to meet other chamber professionals from around the United States, Canada, England, New Zealand, Australia, from around the world that are in the Facebook group, the Chamber Pros Community Facebook group. You'll be meeting them face to face. And you'd be amazed. I've done quite a few of these. The platform is called Blitzer that we're doing this on. And I've done quite a few of these Blitzers. And I have met people, business people, that I have really hit it off with, that I'm going to do deals with, that I'm going to help them. They'll help me. We're talking about various ways to use Blitzer and things of that nature. You're going to find the same thing. When you go through the Chamber Pros H2H, you are going to actually meet people and develop relationships almost like you would have at a real face-to-face conference, but no travel, no time away from the office, all these kind of things. We think it's revolutionary. We think it's the biggest thing since sliced bread. And you know what? You're going to be using this at your chamber for your members to help your members meet each other face to face. It's going to be how you onboard new members, with board members and newbies face to face, with staff people and newbies face to face, with chamber champions and newbies face to face. That's how they're going to get onboarded. And then that's how they're going to network. And you're going to still, when life gets back to normal, you'll still do your face-to-face, real human-to-human type stuff in real life, but you're also going to be continually to do this online stuff. So anyway, we think this is the biggest thing since sliced bread. I've gotten 5 or 6 questions here that I want to kind of answer. If you have any questions, put them in the comments area, and Norma is monitoring this. She'll get the questions in front of me. And I guess oh, by the way, I'd love to know what chamber you're with, where you're watching this from, and are you already signed up? We've had 40, 50 chambers already sign up for Thursday's session, the inaugural session of Chamber Pros H2H. So it's going to sell out fairly quickly. It'll probably sell out today or tomorrow, and we're going to go live Thursday, 1 o'clock Eastern. And you're going to get a training from somebody who's the best in the business. You know, one of the top chamber pros in the country is going to be sharing a project that she's working on that's just working like gangbusters. And then we'll do the networking with top chamber people from across the United States and Canada, across the world. And then we'll come back to a wrap-up session. And we'll do that every week from now on. Every Thursday, 1 p.m. forever. Just put it in your calendar. because we are going to pull the entire chamber industry together to where everybody gets to know each other face to face. Love to know what you think of it. What, do you have the vision that we do? Do you think this is a big deal? Because I really think this is going to sweep the chamber industry. I think you're going to be using this for your members in so many different ways. And we got some big ideas too. Can't tell you about those yet. All right, so question. That was the first one, kind of like what is Chamber Pros H2H? That's what it is. It's face-to-face, one-on-one, so it's entirely private. These things are not recorded. Neither is the training at the beginning or the networking part, completely not recorded. So you can ask sensitive questions. You can just not be worried about, well, what happens if my board member sees this, or what happens if my chamber CEO sees this. It's all going to be one-on-one, face-to-face, human to human, for you to build relationships, ask questions, offer mentoring, get mentoring, brainstorm, get best practices, share what's working today, share what's not working. All of that's going to happen inside our Chamber Pros H2H, which I'll run every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, forever, unless I'm doing a board retreat or traveling or whatever, and then somebody else will run it that day. But it's going to happen every Thursday at 1 p.m. Okay. So how does it work? So I've already covered the 10-minute interview. You'll get a tip. You'll get an insight. We're going to bring on a top chamber person every week to share one thing that is working really well for them at their chamber, so you can glom on to something that is proven to work at another chamber. And then who's it for? This is strictly for paid chamber staff people. You have to be in the Chamber Pros Community Facebook group, and you have to be a paid employee of Chambers. So if you see some vendor sneaks in somehow, or somebody that's no longer in the industry sneaks in somehow, let me know, because this is strictly for chamber staff people, paid staff people, to get together face to face. How do you sign up? We posted this in the Facebook group at the very top. It's pinned. You'll see our new Chamber Pros Human to Human logo that Norma created. And on there is a URL to take you to the link. That thing's not public, so don't share it outside the industry. Don't share it with your members or anybody else that doesn't work for a chamber. That's strictly for you guys. Is it going to be ongoing? Yeah, this is every Thursday for now on. And you'll find that, the first time you meet somebody, you get a taste for what they do, what chamber they work for, how long they've been working for that chamber. You'll share a little bit, but that 5 minutes goes pretty fast. You're going to find that the conversation ends. Now, you can also, or of course, connect on LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook or phone call or whatever it is to continue the conversation if you want to. But it's also going to go around next week. There's going to be another session. So you might meet up with them again. And you'll find that once you meet up with somebody 3, 4, 5 times, you really start to develop quite a bond with this person. You truly know them. It would take 100 Zoom after hours type of parties, Zoom parties, for you to have this kind of relationship develop that you'll get in 2 or 3 or 4 sessions through this platform. Now, nobody asked me this question, but I just thought of it, and you should know how this works. When you sign up to participate in the Chamber Pros H2H, which is free, it's going to ask you, all right, here's the list of participants. Right now, there's 50 people signed up, 40 to 50 people signed up. You get to mark them red, yellow, or green, depending on, let's say they work with you. They're in the same office with you. You don't really need to network with them for this. You mark them red. And the system, the artificial intelligence, the algorithm, won't put you together with somebody you've marked red. And so if there's somebody that you just don't want to meet with because you already know them super well, or you've met with them a few times and the conversation has kind of run its course and you just don't want to meet with them anymore, just mark them red. And the system won't put you together with anybody you've marked red. Now, if there's somebody you definitely do want to meet because they're a superstar or they're friends with you and you haven't seen them at the conferences because everything's been canceled, or you know them from Institute or whatever, mark them green. The system will try to put you together with that person. But if they're kind of like a mini celebrity, if they're a giant like April Brooks Bragg that's going to be our first presenter, everybody's going to be marking her green. So she won't be able to meet with all of you. So you might find you don't get to meet with the people you mark green, but the system will try. And then if you could, if you don't really have an opinion one way or the other, you'd be glad to meet them. But if you don't, that's fine too. Just Don't even mark them a color or mark them yellow. And the system knows that it's just kind of random whether you meet with that person or not. I know that I go through generally and I mark 10 or 15 people green. And that way I know that every single conversation I have is awesome, stellar, amazing. And every once in a while I've marked somebody red because the conversation just didn't go anywhere. And so you'll find that too. All right. So do I have to have a mic and a cam to do this? Yeah, it's absolutely a requirement that you can't even show up to get the training at the beginning if you're not willing to have on a microphone and a cam for the face-to-face networking. You know, that's how this thing works. It's all about that human-to-human connection, face-to-face with another Chamber Pro. So you have to be using either a desktop or a laptop. That's all that works for this. And it has to be a cam and a mic so you can be seen and heard. You also probably want pretty good internet. If you find that you're the choppy one on Zoom and things of that nature, you know you should already be having that fixed, but you got to have decent internet and a quiet room, or at least, you know, earbuds in or something so that you can have a conversation with another person. Now they are adding a mobile device, this platform called Blitzer. They are adding the ability to do this with mobile devices, but they're not there yet. So it's got to be a laptop or a desktop with a cam, with a microphone, so you can have a real relationship with other human beings and decent internet. So that's the requirements. And then could we use this at our chamber? Yeah, there's kind of an unlimited number of ways you could use this at your chamber with, you could do a job fair. The system allows you to set up groups of people. So like one group could be people that have the same kind of deal where the system puts them together based on the red, yellow, and green. So you could do expos, job fairs, all sorts of different things where you're putting members together with members. And then there's another thing, sponsorships. Between each conversation is a 30-second break, so you can take notes or, you know, get a glass of water, whatever. But during that break, that can be sponsored. And so what we're going to do is sponsor this ourselves. But if you're going to use this at your chamber, you could sell those intertertials, that's what those are called, those little 30-second breaks, to members that want to advertise to your members. You can make some non-dues revenue. You could use them yourself and promote your upcoming events and things of that nature. So there's all sorts of different ways you're going to be able to use this platform, which is free at the moment and is supposed to stay relatively or almost free because it's going to be ad supported. So they haven't rolled out ads yet. It's still in beta, so it's entirely free for you to use. All right, I'm going to go through and see if we have any questions here. And Norma, if you want to feed me some questions. And again, I'd love to know what chamber you're with. Have you signed up? What are your thoughts on this? Are you going to use it at your chamber? Video has no sound. I think Norma would have came down and told me if she didn't have sound. So let me know if you have sound. I'd appreciate that. Wouldn't that be something? I've been talking for all these minutes with no sound. I got it. Oh, okay, there's sound. What chamber are you guys? Have you signed up? Norma put the link there for that. I'm broadcasting this into about 2 or 3 different platforms here, so I don't know. I'm not seeing any questions in the Facebook group, but let me go peek around other places where might have stuff. All right, it looks like I've covered pretty much everything that people wanted to know. Norma, if you have any additional questions or if anybody's reached out to you with questions, what is the program? I'm actually using StreamYard. Here, let me add this. Boop. See, that's kind of fun. Facebook user. What is the program? StreamYard. Yeah, so I'm using StreamYard right at the moment to do this live streaming broadcast. It's wonderful for doing shows or stream. I'm streaming to Facebook group, Facebook page, and YouTube, and it will stream to your website. It'll stream everywhere that you want it to. Anyway, StreamYard is really cool. If you're not using it, I highly recommend you use this at your chamber. You can do some pretty amazing stuff. The Rowlett Chamber, fantastic. Thank you for signing up there, Michael. Any other questions about what we're doing here or possible uses at your chamber or just anything whatsoever to do with of this tool? I really think it's going to be a big deal. We're going to be rolling out some other crazy stuff over the next few weeks you're going to see, but we're not ready on that yet. But we'll do this on a regular basis. H2H will be that format too. So no, I'm sorry. At the H2H, the Chamber Pros H2H will be on a platform called Blitzer, and it does things that Zoom cannot do, not even close, and Remo cannot do, not even close. So if you haven't yet checked out Blitzer, might as well sign up for this Chamber Pros H2H so you can kind of go through and see what it's like. But you're gonna be using Blitzer at your chamber. I can almost guarantee it. It's got so many uses. Any other questions about anything else under the sun? Getting some thumbs up, getting some people that have that are signed up. Anything else? All right, so I will see you and everybody else. I should list the 40 or 50 people that have signed up already so that you can see, and maybe you can go, oh, I want to network with such and such, because we've got some pretty darn well-known chamber pros that have signed up to this. So you'll be meeting some superstars, and you'll also, there's other people signed up that are fairly new to the industry. And it's always good to, if you are a veteran, if you are a superstar, sign up for this thing so that you can give back to the industry and you can build those relationships with people. And I am going to pick one person every week to highlight what they're doing at their chamber. So, all right, that's about it. Unless anybody else has any final questions. Sharon wanted to know that she may have missed us the cost. So there's going to be no cost to you as a Chamber Pro for attending the Chamber Pros Human to Human event, H2H. If you want to use Blitzer and do something similar at your chamber, which I highly recommend you do, there's also no cost to that at this time because Blitzer is still in beta. And I don't think there's going to be a cost going forward because it looks like Blitzer is going to be ad supported. If you don't use those ad breaks for your own things, then Blitzer is going to use them to allow others to run their ads, just like on Facebook that's ad supported in the feed, and Twitter's ad supported in the feed, and LinkedIn's ad supported in the feed. It's the exact same kind of thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run those ads, though. I think it'd be extraordinarily powerful to not only connect the members of the Facebook group, like you'll connect the members of your chamber, but to use those breaks in order to promote your next event or to promote a program or a project or a sponsorship opportunity, to promote whatever you're working on, because you'll have those people captive. They'll be in the networking thing. Let's talk about your members here. Your members will sign up, and they're going to be put through this kind of, you can decide what to do with that first, say, 10 minutes. You can do a training, you can do an interview, you can share the screen, like you can put up to 4 people on the screen at once. You could actually click in and out people so that, let's say you have 10 members that signed up, or let's just use 10 members that signed up. Each of those 10 members at the very beginning could be brought on for 30 seconds to do an elevator pitch. You know, who are you and what business do you have? And then they go away, and then the next one, and they go away, and then the next one, and they go away, and the next one. So that first section where you're just broadcasting to the entire group can be introductions also. So it could be training, interview, introduction, all sorts of different things. And then it goes to the one-on-one networking. So you're putting your members together one-on-one. And I'm betting a bank or a credit union or insurance company would just love to sponsor that intertertial between. There's 6 of those breaks. So you get quite a few opportunities there for a member to get their logo, they get their call to action. You can do a link there that'll take people to a lead magnet or to a video or to their website, whatever it happens to be. And so you're going to be able to monetize this at your chamber. But the biggest thing, and here I'm going to go off on a tangent here a bit, but if you've read Seth Godin's book, Tribes, and I talk about this every time I speak at a conference that's about relationship building and networking, I talk about Seth Godin's book, Tribes. And if you haven't read it, it's the most important book, in my opinion, in the chamber industry, Tribes. And Seth Godin wrote about, he researched, why do humans form into tribes? Why do we do Aborigine tribes and Indian tribes and, you know, communities and church groups and Rotary clubs? Why do we do this? And he really studied this, and he wrote a whole book on it. It's called Tribes. And what he came up with, one of his key points is that just because the leadership, if you think of the leadership up here in a little bubble, just because the leadership can communicate down to the membership, that's all well and good, and that's important, but that doesn't create a tribe. There's nothing, no cohesiveness there that keeps people together and unified in a tribe. You're just able to talk to people, but that doesn't build a tribe. Well, what about the ability of the members to communicate up to the leadership, to the staff and the board? Does that create a tribe? And he looked at it and said, no, that's good and all well and good, but that doesn't build cohesion. That doesn't form a group that you like, that's family. Then he looked at it sideways. Well, what about sideways, member to member? Maybe that's it. And he goes, that's exactly what it is. If you don't have member to member communication, if you don't have member to member relationships, you don't have a tribe. And so once you decide, all right, we are going to form a cohesive tribe, you've got to figure out a way to connect the members to each other. And it's the same in Rotary or Lions Club or Kiwanis or church or Aborigine tribe, Indian tribe, all of these groups. It's not you as the people running the chamber. It's not the individual members. It's their relationship to each other that allows you to form a tribe. If you don't have that, you don't have a very solid group. They're kind of like a crowd of people. But if you get them communicating, if you get them to be more like family, then you have a tribe. And so that's what Blitzer or Chamber Pros H2H will allow us to do with our Chamber Pros community. You guys won't be just in the group with a bunch of other, the names, you've seen pictures of their faces on Facebook, but rarely do you get to meet them face to face. Well, now every week we are going to put you together face to face with other people in the Chamber Pros tribe. And that is really going to create some dynamics. It's I think it's the biggest thing. It's as big as social media coming along, is this idea that we can put together people face to face with no travel expenses, no travel time, no time out of the office, no nothing. You just sit at your desk and the system, it's kind of like speed dating. The system just works. And this isn't like Zoom breakout rooms. I've heard all sorts of things about, well, Zoom breakout rooms allow us to put people together. And I hear it's clunky as could be, and you have to manage that. And you can't really control a lot of times who's in there unless you do all sorts of administration. And it's just a ton of work on your part to run Zoom, a Zoom thing, and then put them into breakout rooms. With the Blitzer, it all happens automatically. I'll be going through the same 5 or 6 discussions one-on-one, face-to-face with other people. So you might get a chance to meet me, which some people have told me is kind of cool because they only see me on the Chamber Focus show. But I'll also get to meet you, which is certainly cool because you're the tribe. You're the reason that Norma and I do this whole thing, is for you. So anyway, let me see if there's any questions. I just went off on a 20-minute rant or something. All right, so this person is going to try it. Awesome. I would love to try it with you. Great. So look for that URL. I think Norma posted it. Go ahead and sign up. We have a few places left for this Thursday. It does sell out, or it's free, so it doesn't sell out, but it does max out. Let's see. How do we sign up? There's another one. So Norma, hopefully you can answer these. Sharon says, awesome, thanks. Any other questions before I sign off on this? All right, I think I'm going to go. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Be well, and we'll see you Thursday, 1 p.m. In the Chamber Pros Human to Human inaugural event. Bye-bye, everybody.